Okay, my YouTube people, this is how to rebuild a carburetor on your Echo string trimmer. This is for an SRM-2100. I bought this carb kit off of eBay. And as you can see, I cleaned the carburetor well. What ended up being wrong on this one is where the primer bulb sits on here like this was plugged up. And both these holes have check valves. This bigger one lets the fuel in. This smaller one here returns the excess fuel through this brass nozzle back to the tank. This had goo in it and wouldn't let it return. So when you were pushing on the bulb, it felt like you were just pushing against a rock. It wouldn't let it flex. So now everything's all clean. I'm going to put it back together. There's a metal piece here that comes in the kit. I guess you could take that out and clean a section in the carb if it's really bad. This carb, all the ports were nice and free. I'm not worried about taking that piece out. And if you cover both the fuel inlet and the outlet, it's pretty tight. It's not really moving anything. I'm going to install the needle, the pivot pin, and the spring. And that all goes right in here. The very end, get your needle. The spring goes in this little divot. The way I like to do this is I put the pin in the pivot. Then I install the spring. Then I put the needle onto the pivot. I have it all lined up like this. Then I install the spring. And I just kind of sandwich it all down, like hey, what's up? That's pretty much in like that. Now I just put the screw in that holds it all in. Like that. This kit came with 2 diaphragm gaskets. The original one that was in the carb was this more plastic looking one rather than this rubber one. So you take this plate. So you take this plate and you put the gasket on, and you can see where it's curved here. So it gets the curve like this. It can only go one way. Then this one goes on the same way. Like that. You make sure it's on these 2 alignment pins. Then I like to hold the throttle open like that, spring load it. Now I lower the carb down onto it like that. I can feel that the alignment pins are in. Now I kind of take and hold it down by the outside. I put the primer bulb on it like that, and then the 2 screws, and I'll just tighten those up like that. Okay, now if the float's in, you check the operation that it operates up and down smoothly, and it does. And now you install this gasket. This gasket goes up against the carb body like that, and then this diaphragm, the big circle, faces down towards the carburetor, and it goes on like this. So both these notches line up. The little elbow here, and that goes in that notch, and then everything just kind of rotates on, and you put the 2 screws on. And that's how you rebuild a carburetor for this Echo string trimmer. Pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.